YouTube Nation, what is up? Big Eagles Truth here with you. It's about an hour and a half away from draft time, and now look, if the Eagles draft anyone other than Carson Wentz, I'll make a post-draft video. If they take Carson Wentz like we fully believe they will, there's no need for a post-draft video. We're getting exactly who we thought we're getting anyway. All right? Just make that clear. Some things to get to. We're going to talk about Sam Bradford. But before I talk about him, I'm going to talk about the whole thing with us moving up to get a quarterback of the future and everything. I was not on board with the move. And I'm still not liking it. I still would not have done it, but I've been made aware of some things. And I'm going to take the high road and be like, you know what? There's a point. I see a point in it. Now, E-Rock and a whole bunch of other people love it. They've been wanting a quarterback, but the reasons they've been giving me are complete bullshit. Their reasons have been just bouncing off me like, no, not good enough reason, not good enough reason. And some of the reasons include, well, we weren't going to win a Super Bowl with Sam Bradford, so we might as well. How the hell do you know that? After 1 year, when he was coming off injury, of missing basically 2 years in the league, hardly any off-season, training camp, preseason, the whole team's a mess. Terrible offensive line, no running game, receivers that can't catch, a defense that can't stop anybody. That's how you know? Oh no! You want to use his few healthy seasons, because injury is a problem. I'll give you that. But you want to use his few healthy seasons in St. Louis. One where he's Rookie of the Year. I won't mention that though. But his few healthy seasons where offensive line shit. Can't and nobody can catch. We'll use that. Sure, why not? No. Come on. Sam Bradford in those last 7 games, and I hate saying that because it does sound kind of weird. In the last 7 games, like we're narrowing it or something. But he showed, like I seen it. I don't need no stats. I saw a quarterback that I was completely fine being our franchise quarterback. Completely fine. I didn't think of it as settling or anything. I thought, like, you know what? A lot of teams would love to have this. He might not be Brady. He might not be Peyton Manning in his prime. He might not be Aaron Rodgers. But he can be in that next tier. Call me crazy. I thought he was better than Donovan McNabb. Think about it for a second. McNabb was not accurate. There was how many dirt balls? Eagles fans, we made fun of it so much, talking about how he was killing the groundhogs and all that. So or the worm, killing worms or the worm burners or whatever. We made fun of it all the time, okay? Because he was just erratic a lot. He wasn't much of a leader. Didn't know the overtime rules, for God's sakes. He's puking. He's doing the air guitar after in a wild card game when you're destroyed by that same team 1 week ago. You're going to go out there. McNabb benefited from a really good Jim Johnson defense led by Brian Dawkins, a strong offensive line anchored by John Runyon and Trey Thomas, and a really good running game with a 3-headed monster of Deuce Staley, Buck Halter, and Westbrook. Even though Andy Reid didn't run the ball much, I understand that, but they still, when they did, they had those monsters back there. So, I don't want to hear it. McNabb benefited from a really good system, and we're doing about the same thing. Think about it. The weakness of the Andy Reid teams was a lack of receiving talent. That's kind of where we're at right now. Wouldn't you think? Our defense looks to be on the up and up with a good defensive coordinator and good players. Jim Johnson, the defense can be our we don't have much talent at the wide receiver position. Now, the offensive line and the running backs, need to. I think we'll try to strengthen those, but I think that you're going to see a lot of parallels to that. I think you're going to see a lot of parallels. But whatever. That's not to take anything away from McNabb. I was just saying, we hold him up because the results were good. He was in NFC Championship games, whatever. But I think Sam Bradford, as far as a passer, as far as passing talent, I thought was better than McNabb. I liked what I saw. But he still got dissed. He still got, he's average at bad. Blah, blah. Nobody in Philadelphia respected the shit out of him. No one respected him. Sam Bradford couldn't buy respect. This town, I don't know why I say this town, I'm in El Paso, Texas, for God's sake, but the town of Philadelphia was against him from the get-go. He had no chance. Didn't matter what he did. With that rant, why I'm getting on board, more on board with it. Here's why. Tony Romo doesn't got much. All right, Dallas Cowboys, you guys, if Romo stays healthy, you have a great chance to win the division this year. Great chance, all right? But last year, you were 4th in a sucky-ass division. You finished in the basement without Romo. That is where you will be without Tony Romo. And newsflash, Cowboy fans, Romo isn't going to play much longer. What if he takes a shot to his back this year? This year could be it. And even if he doesn't take any shots, how many more years do you think he has? Honestly. Cowboys are going to be needing a quarterback. Giants need Eli Manning. He's getting up there. How many more years do you think you got with him? Kirk Cousins. Yeah, he played really good last year. I'll be honest. I think he's a flash in the pan. You see it so often, even with Nick Foles, flash in the pan. Like he had a really good year, and then it's like, dude, he's nothing special. Kirk Cousins gives me that impression, but I could be wrong. It's not me hating. It's not me sitting there saying, you know, oh, the Washington Redskins are a division rival. I don't want to give them any credit. Kirk Cousins is going to be nothing. He's going to suck. It was a one-year wonder. I'm not trying to be that. I'm not. But it just kind of comes off. Like it's kind of like, who's Kirk Cousins? Like, I mean, it just kind of comes off that way to me. Like he just had a good year, you know. But even if he is legit, he's franchised. You know, how long are they going to have him? They could be looking for a quarterback. That's the rest of the Eagles division. All of them. All going to need quarterbacks. And without a quarterback, you do nothing in this league. Unless you have a ridiculous defense, which nobody in this division has. I honestly think the Eagles will be the closest. I know the Redskins just signed Josh Norman and everything, but I think the Eagles have a really good chance to have, an amazing chance to have the best defense in this division. Now, not just the NFC East. What about Tom Brady? How long does he have? What about Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees? The list goes on, people. Denver's looking for a quarterback. The Browns could use a quarterback. Yeah, I could go on and on. There's going to be 10-plus teams that are all going to need quarterbacks. Well, guess what? The next few years in the draft, the prospects in the quarterback position aren't that great. So there's going to be a whole bunch of teams all needing quarterbacks. The prospects aren't that good. The Eagles are getting a head start at that. They were down. They got to pick 13, which is basically in the middle of the league, and basically around in the middle section. A little bit at the top, but whatever. They got to 8, and then they got to 2. They're getting a head start. They're getting a head start. Hell, freaking Wentz is the #1 player, not by position, the #1 player overall on Mike Mayock's board. I don't see that at all. But Mike Mayock's the one guy I respect. The one guy. And that's what, you know, it's like, damn, I mean, who am I to disagree with? I mean, he's the expert. He knows a shitload more than I do. Okay, okay, I guess. You know, I don't know. But I kind of get it from that standpoint. If one of you guys would have brought that to me, and I'd be like, you know what? All right, I can see it. I can see it. Now, Bradford's still 28. He still could have been our quarterback. But I'll be honest, when we were at 8, I wanted Vernon Hargreaves. If we were at 2 and everything, I would want Jalen Ramsey. I want a cornerback, a top cornerback. I wanted them to sign Josh Norman. I know it was a lot of money, but I wanted them to sign Norman. That's his name, right, Norman? The Panthers DB. Because you look at our defensive line. I know Brandon Graham and Vinny Curry don't set the league on fire as far as their, you know, reputation or anything. But every time they got a chance, bam, they're getting the quarterback. It was ridiculous. So I'm hoping, you know, they can keep it consistent. Fletcher Cox was a monster getting to the quarterback in a 3-4. Should be better even a 4-3. That's what logic would tell you, although you never know. Our linebackers, People aren't high on Michael Kendricks, but you know what? He has shown flashes in the past. He has a hell of a lot of athleticism. Maybe he does better than a 4.3. He should be good. But Hicks, dude, even if you didn't make that second-year jump, even if he didn't make a second-year jump, which I hope he does, but even if he doesn't, even if he just stays the same, dude is a monster. Love the dude. And we still got Connor Barwin, and we still got that guy we got in free agency. So we're good at linebacker. Safeties, I love our pairing. It's just corner. And really, I mean, we have enough to get by. I don't want to sit there and say, oh, we have such a glaring need. Oh, no. I'm not saying that. We got Eric Rowe, who, despite being destroyed by Calvin Johnson, a week later started to be like he's a good corner. I don't understand that. It still kind of scares me. How do you get being destroyed? I don't care if it's Calvin Johnson or not. How do you go from being destroyed to all of a sudden like the best corner on the team? I don't know if I trust that. It's weird. We got Nolan Carroll, who played very well last year, but again, he was a journeyman. You know, do you trust that? Shepard, while the things that were being said were great in training camp, he never really played it down a football. So does that carry over? Those are our cornerbacks. I mean, yeah, we got a guy in free agency and we got some other guys, but those are your highlights. I really just wanted one. Everybody was saying Ezekiel Elliott when we were at 8. No. I wanted Vernon Hargreaves, or I wanted a corner. Our biggest need is a corner and offensive line. Those are our two biggest needs. Offensive line probably being first, maybe. But those are our two biggest needs. Actually, you know what? No. Corner is our biggest need. Because we still have Alan Barber, whatever. We signed Brooks. For right now, Jason Peters isn't going to last long. So when he's out, now offensive line is going to be our biggest need. But it's corner and offensive line. And then what we would like to have is receiver and running back. But Ryan Matthews and Darren Sproles can do it a little bit. And Kenyon Barner, he showed some flashes last year. They can do it, Our receivers, they can do it. I mean, look what we had to deal with in the McNabb, the McNabb and Andy Reid era. They can do it. But those are our 4 positions to look at. But now, what do I want? Right now, what do I want? Since Bradford is doing this, that relationship is ruined. Whether Bradford's our starter this year or not, that relationship's ruined. So now he's not going to be our long-term solution. So now it's like, now you got to do quarterback. So now, with the situation, now I want them. Even if they said, Eagles truth, whatever you say, we don't have to draft a quarterback if you don't want to. Whatever you say, we'll do. What do you want us to do it to? With the situation with Bradford now and everything in that relationship between them two, I would say draft Carson Wentz. You basically have to now. But like I said before, I do get it now. I do get the logic. They're trying to get a head start on their quarterback before the rest of the division or most of the league does. So I get it. Now, before I go, let's talk about Bradford and the hate he's getting, like, oh, he's a coward, he doesn't want to compete. Guys, number one, before I say this, because I don't want you to sit there and think that I'm just sticking up for Bradford and I hate the Eagles and yada, yada, yada. I get it, what the Eagles are doing. It's a business. I get what they're doing, and I want them to be as successful as possible. And sometimes that means not telling the truth completely, 100%. So I get it. Now, from Bradford's standpoint, you guys got to remember, these are lives, all right? This is not just things. These are lives. These are actual people, all right? Someone gets traded, their family, themselves, they have family, their family has to sell their home, do whatever, pack up, go across country, and, you know, find a new school for their kids. Their kids have to make new friends. They have to find a home and get used to a whole city. There's a lot there that we don't even think about because it doesn't deal with us. We only worry about us, our wants, our team. That's all we care about. We don't worry about that. We don't worry about that part of it all. I hear two big things. Number one, well, Bradford's a coward. He doesn't want to compete against a rookie. I don't think that has anything to do about him wanting to him not wanting to compete. Him wanting to be self, like I deserve this. It's my. I don't think it has anything to do with that. You guys are just putting things in there. No matter what he does, he's gone. So even if he proves himself and it becomes the best, he's still gone, and he knows that. I think it's stupid. I hate that. Oh, we've put so much into this draft pick or this signing and this money, and we can't possibly get rid of him. We can't possibly admit we were wrong, which is bullshit. The best player plays. It doesn't matter. You make the best decision in the present. Perfect example. I bought a PS4. All right, and I got so addicted to playing Call of Duty. I was playing it like crazy. I was almost ignoring my kids. I was ignoring my fiance. It was bad. I was just like, ugh. I needed to get out of it. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't getting anything accomplished throughout the day. Nothing. I had to get rid of it. It was just, I had to get rid of it. I had to get it out of my life. So I tried Craigslist. Not really any takers and everything. I look at GameStop, refurbished PS4 with no games being sold for like $300. I tried on Craigslist for like $250, $200. I couldn't get any takers. Perfectly fine PS4. Eventually, I had to sell it back to GameStop, and I got $160. Oh, stop. Anyway, I got about $160. It's kind of like football. It's kind of like how they do it in football and everything. Just cut your losses. Make the best decision now. And that was the best decision I could make. I didn't think about like, oh, I put all this money into into this PS4. I'm just selling it at a loss. No, you make the best decision you can now and just cut your losses. That's what it should be about. People are like, oh, they're not going to pay him all that money to sit on the bench. You hear that a lot too. Dude, the best players should play, period. Cut your losses. Admit you made a mistake and make the best decision now. You keep making that mistake, beating your head against the wall, just keep making that mistake because you don't want to change. It's stupid. If Sam Bradford went crazy, really good, guess what? If he keeps playing year after year after year, guess what? You end up You end up trading Carson Wentz. Sorry. That's the right decision, but they won't do that. That's not the way it works. They can't bring themselves to do that. That's what Sam means. It's not a competition. He's going to lose no matter what. He's gone no matter what. Don't you guys get that? I hear a lot of people sitting there saying, well, Sam knew he was not the long-term solution. He knew he signed it when he knew when he signed a 2-year contract. No. Sam thought that they were obviously off in numbers as far as the long-term solution goes. And Sam wanted to prove that he was worth it. So he's like, I'll prove it to you. Sign me for this and everything. 2 years, I'll prove it to you. A prove it deal to you. It doesn't matter what he proves. He's gone now anyway. And the Eagles did this after he signed the contract. Wouldn't it have been just polite, common courtesy to say what the plans are going forward? You know what I mean? So he wants out. What if he gets injured this year? He injured himself. For what? For a team that doesn't want him. He has no stake in this team anymore. He's not the solution. He's not going to be here. He has no interest in the team. If they almost make the playoffs, like say they almost make the playoffs, so say they win the division and get in the playoffs, losing the first round, usually people will be like, you know what? We made progress. We're getting better. Let's do this and this and this. Sam Bradford could care less. He's not the long-term solution. He doesn't care about the evolution of the team now. He's going to be gone. So he's just saying, look, I'm 28. Don't waste a year of my life. Just trade me. And I can start over, to somebody that, I'm trying to get stability here. Trade me. Why is it so hard for you people to understand? Because you've been dogging him as it is, so let's just dog him further. It's easy. We've been dogging him already, even while he was being a nice guy. Now we'll dog him even harder. Come on. Freaking ridiculous. And freaking EDP, you know, he was bitching about the trade. Now he's bitching about Sam Bradford bitching about the trade. It's just like, dude. Come on. I'm an Eagles fan. I get it. It's a business. I want my team to do whatever they have to do to win, and even if that means not being completely honest. But I get Sam Bradford's side. So all you people on radio, ESN podcasts and TV and YouTube and whatever, stop. He's not a coward. Stop. Use your freaking heads. So many idiots in this room. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm going to go watch us take Carson Wentz with a slight chance of being Goff. But I'm going to go watch the draft and maybe log on to PhiladelphiaEagles.com if there's a press conference with Carson or something. I don't fucking know. Peace out.